in terms of rental. Low quantum, you can get in easily, and the rental is still good, so you get respectable rental yields. Okay, now moving along, we have one of the remaining unit set. It's not a new launch, right? So it's like kind of post-launch. So if you want to buy it, you don't actually need to go for balloting. So maybe we look at some of the things that we see over here. The Ocho developer is Primus Land, 27 Lorong 32 Geylang. This is the address, and District 14 freehold, right? So that's there'll be 20 units over there. So it's very, very boutique in that sense. So some of the things that we have to remember when we buy the boutique units is that you really have to pray that you have good neighbors who like pay their maintenance fees on time, so that because there's still a pool, right? You can see over here there's a pool, there's a gymnasium, and there's a barbecue pavilion. Not that much, but it also means you don't have too many things to maintain, but that pool will require what we call maintenance fees. Because of the MCSD rules, you have to have a certain schedule of maintenance in order for it to remain viable. Like you have to test that the bacterial level is not too high, and so on and so forth. So you can see over here that the number of lots are 1-to-1, right? 21 include 1 handicap lot and 14 mechanized car parking lots. But because this is sort of quite near Paya Lebar quarters, and it's going to be muchly good proportion of it may be rented out, you might not have that many of the tenants actually driving. It's kind of expensive to own a car in Singapore. So generally, we find that this number of parking lots where there are maybe say 6 to 7 surface lots, maybe just enough, and you might only have to utilize the mechanized once in a while. So that is that in terms of the key details. And if you look at one of the things that interest me is that you can actually get a very nice 4-bedder, and only for 2.2 million. The PSF is very, very palatable at 1,008. In some sense, like even in the OCR, you cannot get this kind of PSF anymore, right? You will realize that if you look at the floor plan, you will see that you actually have like a master and a room over here. The way they have done this is that technically, you can use this as a dual key, even though it's not marketed as a dual key. If you put a partition here, because you rent this out as a like kind of a 2-bedder, and you sort of put a small kitchenette stove over here, because a lot of people who rent the 2-bedders will not actually be looking at wanting to like cook anything, right? So you put it here. This unit, in that sense, allows you to actually have your own 2-bedder on this side and use this as a rental out. Or you can actually rent it out as 2 different 2-bedders. Or if you operate it as a co-living outfit, you can actually have 4 different bedrooms. We see you can have one bedroom here with a master, another one that is here. So there are many permutations. You rent it out to like 2 couples and 1 couple with 2 kids, and they all share one bathroom. So there are many possibilities here, and if you really want to do some kind of like renovation, you can actually even partition this out. So you can actually have 5 rooms, right? There are many permutations, and they can all share this kitchenette. So rental for like a master bedroom there might be 1,500 to 1,800, and a 2-bedder there might be going for like 2,500, like. So when you put all this rental together, especially if you rent them out like piece by piece, you can actually get substantially good returns even for such a large square feet. And in some sense, it's like you could sort of imagine that you buy it now for the rental returns, and if eventually Geylang does share this red like reputation and you want to shift in there, or even if you don't mind, since it's actually quite far away, remove from that, small little 1/4 lower numbers that is in the bottom left of the Geylang district. And this is actually quite safe in terms of whether you even want to see some of the red light activities here. So this is actually quite tucked away. So there's a lot of flexibilities there in that sense, that you can stay yourself and, consider this as a dual key unit, just make like a simple partition. So I really like this layout for the kind of flexibility, and it shows that this developer understands the appeal of people who come into Geylang, as seeing it as possibly staying, but also primarily for its appeal as in terms of rental unit. And the way they have designed this particular layout does show that they understand this appeal quite clearly. All right, so that's the Ocho.